Some people are not alone. They have friends. They talk normally. They attend gatherings. They reply to messages. From the outside, nothing seems unusual. But internally, there is a distance they can't explain. They care about people, yet don't feel attached. They enjoy conversations, yet rarely feel understood. They spend time with others, yet return home feeling unchanged. And the strangest part is this: they don't feel rejected. They feel untouched. It's not loneliness in the typical sense. Loneliness hurts. This feels quieter, more like watching life happen from slightly behind a glass wall. You participate, but something inside never fully joins. If you felt this, you may have asked yourself, why don't I feel close to anyone, even when nothing is wrong? The answer usually isn't a lack of social skill. It's the way closeness was learned early or never safely learned at all. Humans are not born knowing connection. We learn it through repetition. A child expresses, someone responds, the child relaxes. This cycle builds emotional expectation. The mind begins to believe, when I reach, someone meets me. But if responses were inconsistent, not harmful, just unpredictable, the brain adapts differently. It stops expecting emotional landing. The child still interacts, still speaks, still behaves socially. But internally they learn, connection exists, but not reliably enough to lean on. So they develop a subtle independence. They don't avoid people. They avoid depending on emotional response from them. And this becomes the adult pattern. Many adults who feel distant from others are not quiet. They can talk easily, joke easily, listen deeply, but most conversations stay in safe territory. They share stories, not uncertainty. Opinions, not vulnerability. Thoughts, not emotional risk. So interactions remain pleasant but light. Others feel they know you, but they mostly know your stable version, not the unfinished one. And closeness requires unfinished parts to be seen. Without that exposure, relationships grow wide, not deep. This distance isn't always experienced as anxiety. You may not feel nervous before opening up. You simply don't think to, because your mind quietly predicts something, either misunderstanding or no real change. So emotional sharing feels unnecessary rather than dangerous. Why risk awkwardness for a result that once felt minimal? The brain conserves effort. If emotional expression once led to small impact, it lowers future attempts. Not avoidance, efficiency. You stop reaching because reaching rarely altered the feeling. People who feel distant are often excellent listeners. They understand others quickly. They give thoughtful responses. They notice subtle emotions. Because observing is safe, you can be involved without being exposed. Others leave conversations feeling supported. You leave feeling unchanged. Over time, you become known as reliable. But reliability is not the same as closeness. Closeness requires mutual emotional weight, and you may carry theirs without placing down yours. Another pattern appears. Connections feel interchangeable, not meaningless, but replaceable. If one friendship fades, you accept it quickly. If distance grows, you adjust rapidly. Because attachment never fully anchored. You cared, but part of you stayed prepared. So loss feels logical rather than destabilizing. Others may experience breakups or drifting friendships intensely. You experience them quietly, not because you don't value people, because emotional investment stayed moderated from the start. You may trust people. You don't assume bad intentions. Yet closeness still feels limited. Because trust is cognitive. Closeness is experiential. You can believe someone understands you without internally feeling understood. Your brain accepted the idea of connection. Your nervous system never practiced resting inside it. So interactions remain conscious rather than felt. Independence becomes identity. You solve problems privately, process emotions internally, adapt quickly. This strength helps you function smoothly, but it removes the need to emotionally lean. And leaning is how bonds deepen. If you rarely require emotional support, relationships stay balanced but shallow. No one carries you, so no one feels irreplaceable. Not because they lack importance, because importance was never built through reliance. Closeness grows through shared uncertainty. Small admissions. I don't know what I'm feeling. I was affected more than I expected. I'm not sure how to handle this. Not dramatic vulnerability, gradual visibility. The nervous system learns connection not through big confessions, but repeated safe responses to small openness. You don't force attachment. You practice allowing response to matter. Over time, the glass wall feels thinner, not gone, but permeable. If you've lived around people yet rarely felt emotionally near them, it doesn't mean you lack care. It may mean you learned to function without depending on emotional reflection. And what you learned early became your definition of normal. Understanding this doesn't instantly create closeness, but it removes the confusion. You're not distant by nature. You adapted to a version of connection that required little from you. If this video helped you understand something you couldn't explain before, like the video so it reaches others who feel the same. And subscribe to Psychora, where we explore the quiet patterns behind everyday behavior. Some experiences don't isolate you from people. They just teach you how to stand beside them without leaning.